bouquet of flowers in recognition of her support to her husband. The distinguished honor graduate, the Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment, is Private Brady Dean from Grand Junction, Colorado. Private Dean's follow-on assignment is RASP. Receiving the Drill Sergeant of the Cycle Award from Echo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment, is Staff Sergeant Nicholas Martinez from Amalone, Wisconsin. The Distinguished Honor Graduate for Echo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment, is Private First Class Easton Skinner from Harrisburg, Ohio. His follow-on assignment is Special Forces Selection. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving these fine soldiers a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Brendan R. Gallagher.
Morning. So on kind of a wet and muddy and dreary day like today in the Army, we have a saying that if it ain't raining, we ain't training. So happy holidays and welcome other command teams, distinguished guests, family and friends. We'd also like to welcome the Honorary Regimental Sergeant Major of the 50th Infantry Regiment, Jay Copley, and his wife, Wilfrida. So today marks our final graduation ceremony of this year, and a terrific way to go into the holiday season. We're all here today to proudly celebrate the graduation of these 379 soldiers from Infantry 1 Station Unit Training, Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry, and Echo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry. Every one of them successfully completed 14 weeks of intensive infantry training in the often unforgiving Georgia weather. Physical training, marksmanship, drill and ceremony, medical training, urban operations, live fire exercises, and much, much more. For most of the soldiers staying in this formation today, this represents the single most difficult, most meaningful, most significant accomplishment to this point in their entire lives. So a key message I have for us today is be proud. Soldiers in formation and family and friends in attendance should absolutely be proud of this incredible accomplishment. We are all exceptionally proud of each and every one of you. Let's please give all these soldiers a big round of applause. Of course, they could not have gotten here today without the incredible support network of family and friends. Those represented here today in the audience, plus many others who helped make this day possible. So we are extremely grateful to all of you as well. And there's another vital group we would be remiss if we didn't thank, because these soldiers also would not have gotten here without a vital group of military leaders to guide, coach, teach, and mentor them every day of the last 14 weeks. Of course, I'm talking about our drill sergeants, the best drill sergeants you'll find in any military on the planet. Let's please give our drill sergeants a big, big hand. We humbly thank all the soldiers on this parade field for what each of you has accomplished up to this point. But, much more importantly, what you've committed yourself to do in the future, to support and defend the United States Constitution at a critical time. We confront a world with threats in multiple domains and across multiple continents, including in the Middle East, in Asia, Europe, and elsewhere. These threats include conventional threats, unconventional, terrorism, cyber war, and other arenas. And the demand for infantry greater than ever before. By virtue of completing this training, all of the information today are ready. There is no doubt in my mind. You are ready to help ensure our nation prevails in whatever challenges come our way and to close with and destroy our nation's enemies on the battlefields of the future. We have future leaders standing in front of us. In this formation, we have future drill sergeants, future first sergeants, future lieutenants and captains. We might very well have a future sergeant major of the Army or a future general officer standing before us right now. This formation is the future of our infantry and the future of our Army. And the National Infantry Museum on Main Post reflects the extraordinary and inspiring history of the infantry since the founding of our nation, and each of you stand ready to help write the next chapter of that history. Every one of you infantry soldiers has my absolute confidence that you will fight and win. We're incredibly proud to see each of you join the ranks of our infantry, and I expect to see all of you on the high ground of the next battlefield. We wish all of you a happy holidays, and God bless America. Fix bayonets, play the game, brave and bold.
Soldier's Creed is a standard for all soldiers to live by. The Soldier's Creed helps soldiers understand that despite their very diverse backgrounds, all soldiers are warriors and members of a team. We invite all soldiers, both past and present, to stand and join us as the Distinguished Honor Graduate from Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment, Private Brady Dean, leads his infantry brothers in the Soldier's Creed. Pictures, but please remain in your seats. When the American flag passes to your front, we ask that you rise and the gentlemen remove their headgear. Once the American flag is past your location, you may be seated. for today's ceremony is Captain Christopher Dubois from Newport, Maine. Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment is commanded by 1st Lieutenant Robert Wiley from Atlanta, Georgia. The platoon sergeant for 1st Platoon is Staff Sergeant Heber Catton from Hialeah, Florida. The platoon sergeant for 2nd Platoon is Sergeant First Class Christopher Gladney from Mechanicsville, Virginia. The platoon sergeant for 3rd Platoon is Sergeant First Class Otis Lee from Lugoff, South Carolina. The platoon sergeant for 4th Platoon is Staff Sergeant Henry Byrne from Newport Richey, Florida. The 1st Sergeant for Bravo Company is 1st Sergeant Paul Marler from Tyler, Texas. The color sergeants are Staff Sergeant Philip Salisbury from Flat Rock, Michigan, and Staff Sergeant Dennis White from Smith Station, Alabama. Echo Company, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment, is commanded by Captain Caleb Klein from Las Vegas, Nevada. The platoon sergeant for 1st Platoon is Sergeant First Class Ivan Diaz from the Bronx, New York. The platoon sergeant for 2nd Platoon is Sergeant First Class Denny Toussaint from Brooklyn, New York. The platoon sergeant for 3rd Platoon is Staff Sergeant Alex Brown from Sarasota, Florida. The platoon sergeant for 4th Platoon is Staff Sergeant Edward Florence from Ocala, Florida. The 1st Sergeant for Echo Company is 1st Sergeant Jason Diaz from Chicago, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join in the singing of infantry song and the Army song. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the 198th Infantry Brigade Commander, Colonel William D. Voorhees, and Command Sergeant Major Ronnie B. Blunt, we thank you for attending today's graduation ceremony. Have a safe journey home. Merry Christmas. Follow me.